Washington, D.C. July 2026. The nation's capital was preparing for the Mubadala City DC Open with a familiar sense of expectation. Organizers had assembled a field that looked strong on paper. Defending champion Eala Fernandez, 2019 champion Jessica Pegula, a top 10 presence in Elena Rybakina, four-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka, and Australian Open winner Madison Keys. Everything appeared set for a solid WTA 500 week. Then the tournament confirmed Eala's participation, and the entire atmosphere shifted. Phones at the William H.G. Fitzgerald Tennis Center began ringing without pause. Ticket sales accelerated far beyond projections. The Filipino community across the East Coast, from Maryland to Virginia and beyond, mobilized with a speed and intensity the organizers had never anticipated. The same energy that had filled the stands at Wimbledon had crossed the Atlantic. What followed next broke the internet and forced a decision no previous edition of the event had ever contemplated. The Dream Team was reuniting. Venus Williams and Eala were locked in for doubles. The tournament's own social media post announcing the pairing called them exactly that, a dream team. Within 5 hours, a video of the two practicing together surpassed 50,000 views and collected more than 2,000 likes. Fans who had watched the pair reach the quarterfinals at Bad Homburg earlier in the season were desperate to see them share a court again. Demand became so overwhelming that the venue's fixed capacity created an unprecedented problem. Expanding seating was not realistic. Adding sessions was already maximized. The only remaining lever was price. For the first time in the tournament's history, organizers raised ticket prices because of one player's arrival. The city took notice. The tennis world took notice. And Eala had once again demonstrated that she was no longer simply a competitor. She had become a phenomenon. This is the story of how Eala Mania arrived in Washington and compelled a professional tournament to rewrite its own commercial rules. The original field had been carefully constructed. Eala Fernandez returned as defending champion. Jessica Pegula brought proven pedigree. Naomi Osaka carried global star power. Madison Keys added Grand Slam credibility. It was the kind of lineup that usually guarantees steady interest. Eala's confirmed entry changed the equation overnight. The phones kept ringing. Groups of Filipino supporters began coordinating travel and ticket purchases. They had followed her from the public courts of Quezon City to the grass of Wimbledon. They had organized watch parties across time zones. Now they finally had the chance to see her in person on American hard courts, and they intended to fill every available seat. The doubles announcement elevated the demand still further. Venus Williams, 14-time Grand Slam doubles champion and one of the most respected figures in American tennis, had chosen to partner again with the 21-year-old from Manila. Their earlier collaboration at Bad Homburg had produced a quarter-final run and genuine on-court chemistry. Williams had publicly described Eala as the best partner. Eala had spoken of the experience with clear emotion, calling it incredible and praising Williams's work ethic, mindset, and grounded presence. On Instagram, she wrote that never in her wildest dreams had she imagined competing alongside Venus. The DC Open's doubles draw already featured 18 Grand Slam doubles and mixed doubles champions across both tours. The Williams-Eala pairing became the headline act. Former US Open champion Andy Roddick had seen the movement forming months earlier. On his podcast, he described Eala Mania as fun and, more importantly, as something larger. He invited listeners to imagine the biggest venue near them packed for a fourth-round Wimbledon match with no room left. "I am here for Eala Mania," he said. "It's great for tennis." He went further, calling it a movement Eala was single-handedly creating, a section of tennis fandom that largely did not exist a couple of years earlier. The ticket price increase in Washington became the clearest commercial proof of that movement. A player who had not yet struck a competitive ball at the event had already altered the tournament's pricing strategy. The Filipino community in the DMV region responded with a passion that surprised even veteran journalists covering the sport. They arrived with national flags, homemade banners, and the same vocal support Eala had felt in Melbourne, London, and New York. During the Australian Open, she had spoken about the feeling of being loved even when trailing in a decisive set. That connection had only grown. Her Wimbledon run, becoming the first Filipino singles player seeded at a Grand Slam, reaching the fourth round, and defeating the defending champion on centre court, had transformed her from a rising prospect into a national figure. At the presidential citation ceremony in Malacanang, she had promised to continue representing the Philippines in the best way possible. The scenes in Washington showed she was keeping that promise in real time. Roddick's later observation captured the shift cleanly. The Miami breakthrough had been a fun story that people wanted more of. Once she was inside the top 30 and beating higher-ranked players at majors, the narrative changed from novelty to substance. The ticket decision in Washington was evidence of that evolution. Eala was no longer only a player generating interest. She had become a catalyst capable of moving commercial decisions at a professional tournament before competition even began. The partnership with Venus Williams carried layers beyond the on-court potential. For Eala, it represented a rare chance to absorb lessons from one of the greatest competitors the sport has produced. For fans, it symbolized a bridge between eras. An American legend sharing the court with a young Filipina who was rewriting what was possible for her country. The chemistry visible at Bad Homburg had already convinced many that the pairing was more than promotional. The rapid view count on the practice video confirmed the appetite to see it again. Organizers found themselves in territory few WTA 500 events ever experience. A standard crowd projection had been replaced by a surge that exceeded the physical limits of the Fitzgerald Tennis Center. Raising prices was not a decision made lightly. It was a direct response to demand that showed no sign of slowing. In that sense, the price adjustment became more than a logistical solution. It became public validation that the movement surrounding Eala had real economic weight. From the cracked public courts of Quezon City to a career-high ranking of world number 28, from a 13-year-old training alone in Spain to a player celebrated by a president and followed by millions, Eala's path has consistently defied the expected limits. The scenes in Washington, phones ringing, tickets vanishing, a practice video racking up tens of thousands of views in hours, and a tournament forced to adjust its pricing, added another chapter to that pattern. She had not yet played a match at the event, yet she had already altered its commercial reality. Andy Roddick's words remain the most concise summary. What began as an engaging breakout story had become a genuine phenomenon. The ticket price increase stood as measurable proof. Eala was no longer simply competing inside the sport. She was expanding its audience and forcing institutions to respond to the energy she and her supporters generated. The Mubadala City DC Open had prepared for a strong week of tennis. What it received instead was a reminder that certain players change the atmosphere before they ever walk onto the court. Eala Mania had arrived in the nation's capital, and the tournament had adapted in real time. The matches would still decide the trophies. The demand that preceded them had already written a different kind of result. If this look at the power of a growing fan movement, the rare reunion of a legend and a rising star, and the moment a tournament rewrote its own rules resonated with you, make sure you're subscribed to Tennis Playhouse. Turn on notifications so you never miss the stories that sit behind the scoreboard. Drop a comment and tell us whether you think the energy in Washington will translate into the deepest run of Eala's hard-court season. The phenomenon is already here. The tennis is about to begin, and we will be following every step.